Hi friends, this is Caitlin. I'm so happy to be here with you with Pink and Main. You can see I have our stamp of the month for January here. Absolutely stinking adorable. I definitely wrote the wrong name in the description. It's 18 Carat Friendship, not just Carat Friendship. That was my bad. But look how cute they are. You guys know I love a little baby chick moment. This one's so cute. He's like facing forward. He could be sitting on the egg. So many options. Adorable little bunnies. Love these Yuzu and Pink and Mane Easter stamps. We have our coordinating dies and then some supporting characters to make this fun card. So I did see some people checking in the comments already. Let's see. I see Kelly's here. I see Miss Gail is here. I'm checking in. I see Jackie Ann. I see Miss Virginia is here. Melissa's here. Connie's here hanging out. Let's see. Angela's here hanging out. I think, hold on. I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see my comments while my screen thing was up. I said I saw Angela. Okay, Miss Judy's here. I see Queenie. Lori's here checking in. Karen's here, so I know Facebook's working. Let's see. Melissa's here. Lori. Did I get everybody? I hope so. If I missed you, I'm very sorry. But yeah, I'm excited. I think we're just going to dive kind of right into this one. Let me show you the supporting things that I brought. So obviously I had to grab these stitched egg dies from last year. It's an Easter card, right? It's not super surprising, but the thing I thought would be fun would be to add some of these zigzag layering borders dies, because you know, a lot of times like these, the eggs will have those fun zigzags or shapes. But instead of putting these on the egg, which you could totally do and would be adorable, I think I want to make the background stripy and leave the egg white / lightly colored. And then that way, like, our Easter basket can go in front of it and our little bunnies and stuff, we can make like a little scene. That's what I'm thinking. And I'm planning on coloring our zigzags to match how we color these elements versus trying to color match to a cardstock. And I'm not positive how that's going to turn out, but there's only one way to find out, right? We won't know unless we try. Hey, Sharon. Welcome, welcome. So the first thing I want to do, I guess, is figure out exactly which elements we're going to use. Move that for now. We're not going to need that till the end-ish. Hey, Heather. Thanks for coming in. So we're going to start out with our white ice rink cardstock, split it into A2 size panels. So that'll be our background. That will be for our egg. There's no way we're going to need more than one of these for our stamped images. Hey, Brennan. Yeah, this little bunny is so, or this stamp set of bunnies is so cute. Okay, so for our mapping purposes, right, that is our card front. We need to figure out which egg we're going to use and how we're going to lay everything out. Right, so that's the biggest egg is going to cover a lot of our cute stripies. I'm kind of leaning like the one smaller egg, one size down, but let's see, because then we can add like the banner or something with the sentiment underneath. Hey, Amanda, I'm excited you got to catch the live too. I do think I want this big old Easter basket. I think that's very cute. I think centering it up would be good. Maybe a little higher, right? Because if we're leaving the egg either plain or lightly colored, it doesn't need to take up the whole thing. And then I love this little bunny who looks like he's like found out we're watching like while he's like mid-march, mid-dance almost. And then I think I want one of these little chicks on this side. Like that. That's a lot of height on one side and not the other. So maybe we'll add that little crate. Right, I feel like that balances out pretty well. And if we shimmy this whole thing up, we could still put our, like a little sentiment banner down here. Like a little sending Easter joy. It could probably fit right in between them if we just scooted him over a little bit. So I think that's gonna be the plan. That's what we're gonna color. And let's be real, I'm probably gonna make put a white mat behind our stripy layer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that, bring that fourth piece of cardstock back out. At least I'm very self-aware, right? A scene theme card swap. That's fun. I like the idea of that. When is Easter this year? I don't know. Hold on, I have my planner here. Let's see. So we know what our time range is for planning. Our cards. When do our cards need to be ready? April 5th. Easter is April 5th this year. So don't panic. You have time. All right. And then I normally am not super drawn to like the pastels, but the way these were colored in the like preview art that Michelle shared in her reveal video, it just really makes me want to color them pastel. So I think we're gonna try. I think that'll help me learn some more Olo colors. Oh, that was a pretty good, that was a solid first stamping for brand new stamps that I did not prep. Lovely. Hey, Jay. Oh, Karen's making cards with me. Yay. I love it when you guys are crafting with me. Oh my gosh, and Christina's watching multiple lives at once. That is some serious brand support, creator support. I appreciate you. All right. I'm not positive if I'm good with pastels and alcohol markers or not. I guess we're gonna find out. I think I'll be okay. All right, let me get these packaged up together before I lose anything. Let's get rid of you. Spin you around. Let's take this. Now we have shaker acetate for another time. Pop our stamps right in the front. Now my stamps and my dies are together. I like to cut off the tab so it sits flat in my bin. And then that is good to go. Eggs, you should go back in your sleeve before I lose you. All right. Hey, Lisa. Oh my gosh, 10 kids? Yeah, I bet you are a good multitasker. Oh, goodness. All right, let's see. I think that's about as close as I can get it today. I did stamp with my Pink and Main Asphalt pigment ink onto my Ice Rink cardstock because that is the combination I have found works well for my Olos. Keeping in mind that I still have yet to try the Olo paper. I know. I keep talking about it. I haven't done it. I am going to break out my Olo hex chart because that's going to help me get in the right like pastel tones. Ew. I really like how these kind of colors are looking. So I think we'll knock orange out of the way first. I want like a pastel rainbow, I think. Maybe like orange, pink, purple, teal if we're not doing like a full rainbow, but we'll see what options I really have here. So OR 4.2 jumps out at me right away. OR 4.2 and 4.4. I don't know, love that. I like the 2.2, I think, with that a little better. But we are going to need something to shade that with. I think a 2.3. OR 2.3. OR. I'm going to have to leave all of these out. OR 2.2. I divided them up. Right, OR 2.3. That's what I want. Where are you? I like reorganize my shelves. .3. It's like a joke. I say that all the time. I'm sorry, you guys. They probably get annoyed with me. OR 2.5. 2.3. Okay. One color family down. Yeah, that is a big jump for sure, Jay. Let's see. For sure want like a pink. So I love how the R 2.2 looks. So let's start with that. R 2.4. Where are you? All the way up there. That's not bad for our darkest. And then maybe like an R, maybe like a 0.2. Okay, that'll be our pinks. Here, let me make a little swatch thing for myself. I see that's not going to be light enough. And that's nothing. Okay. I need something between 2.2 and 2.4. There really isn't anything good. What does 5.3 look like? Maybe. Maybe we need to pivot. What about maybe I'll stick with the 5s, right? Let's stick with the 5s. Our 5.5 sparingly, 5.3, and 5.1. We'll do that like a rosier. And then that's our OR 2.3, O 2.2, and OR, oh, well, that's not good. How did I do that? Okay, well, see if I can get whatever black ink I managed to get on there out. But that is a good orange combo. I'm happy with that. This is like a pinky purple too, kind of how it's blending out. So that's pretty. Wise, let's go. YO 2.3, 2.2, 2.1. I don't know if YO 2.3 is dark enough. I guess if we layer it, that's good. We're getting there. I promise this work ahead of time is going to make a difference when we actually start coloring. So 2.4, 2.3, BG, where's BG 2.1? I know I said I wasn't going to use the pinks, but it's drying a lot nicer. So I think that's going to be my 5 combo. I think I do like that because this definitely looks a little more on the purple side. So that was 2.4, 2.2, and 0.2, right? Cute. And then I need like a tan for my bunny and the wooden box. So I'm thinking like in here, maybe that 07.3, 7.1. 7.7 feels very dark. Okay. Let's start with the basket. And in that basket, the easiest thing that I don't have to think about which color I'm going to use is the carrot. Should have left this up so I could remember which color is which. What are we doing? OR 2.3 is my darkest. So I like to work darkest to lightest. I'm going to add my shadow down here on the underside of the carrot and then on those little indents. And then on this carrot, the shadow is going to come up the other side as well because the eggs are in front of it. So that was OR 2.3. Then we're going to jump to O. I've confused myself. Yeah, O 2.2. I got it right. I got it right. I'm just overthinking it now. Now it's just trust my gut time. And you know what? If it's not perfect, that's okay. Because it's going to end up being a fun Easter card no matter what. There we go. Some cute little carrots. I guess they're getting teal carrot tops. Would not be my first choice, but I don't really want to bring in a green. Okay, I'm going to add my shading on either side of this bigger kind of like center section and then right up through the middle. Fill in that last little bit. There we go. Very cute. I like where this is headed. What do you think that is? Like a candy? I don't know. Let's add a pink egg. I'm going to do my best to avoid these circles. I'm going to add my darkest pink on the bottom side, just like we did with that carrot. Blend that out with my 2.2, and that's a big jump, but if I leave my marker on the paper a little longer, it'll help to smooth that color out. And then 0.2 to finish that off. Gives like a little peachy color to it. That's really cute. And you know what? We'll do this one mostly pink as well. We'll leave that stripe to be another color. But that'll help kind of balance how the orange is on both sides. That little bit of pink on both sides, and then we'll do the yellow and that purpley pink for the other bits. Let's give our dots a little bit of yellow, and we'll add some yellow to that guy at the top. My YO 2.0, super light. And we'll be using that for our little chick as well. Oh, chocolate candy. Yes, please. And then let's try out our more purpley. Just kind of picking one side to have that color come up higher. I don't know, guys. Now I'm questioning. I have this feeling like I need a blue, but I always look at other people's very minimal like color palettes, and I'm always very envious. So do I just lean into this? Am I just like overthinking it? Making sure I'm leaving space in the middle of stripes like this or in the middle of the egg to give a little highlight. It's so cute. Yeah, I'm overthinking. Okay, so something new and different for me. Good to know. Okay, I think I want the ribbon part of this to be yellow. I know I'm gonna want the bunny's overalls to be the teal. And our chick is gonna be yellow. So maybe that brighter pink for the basket. And I'm gonna color this as if it's just like lines drawn, not necessarily like the stripes. But obviously you could color this like stripes. So under our bow would have a good bit of shadow. On the sides would have some good shadow. And remember, this is the combination that has that big jump. So I'm kind of slowing down my movements and giving that ink some time to transfer, some time to push everything around. That's very cute. All right, I do feel better about my yellow bow. So this back section would have some shadow here where that bow kind of overlaps would have some, where that section is coming in front. The artist has drawn us fold lines there to make it really clear. And I'll just add a dot of that darker yellow there in the center. Jackie Ann, that's what I was trying to think about, but I think I'm going to push myself to try to stick with this limited color palette. Because I never do that. And sometimes it's fun to just make yourself. Because again, when I see other people, I feel like Brendan Nolke does it a lot. I feel like Nikki Meeks does it a lot. I just love when other people use like only a couple colors. But see, I feel like if I only put blue in the bunny's overalls, then it's going to be like, throw everything off. It's going to throw it off. We're going to stick with the teal on his overalls. You're the one, Melissa, who told me I was overthinking. You can't switch it up on me now. We've come too far. My little puffy little baby chick is going to be all yellow. We'll pull in a little of that, like our orange combination for the beak. That's very cute. Oh, Virginia, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Zoe. I'm really happy with how we're going so far. Let's grab an orange. There we go. All right, and then I'm gonna do the bunny and the crate the same color, and we're gonna add those colors in first before we worry about the teal. I'm trying to be very sparing with this darker brown. That was at 7.7. Then we're going to jump up to 7.3. And to balance out that darkness, I'm not going to eat up as much space as I might normally with my medium. I'm going to try to leave a good bit of room for our highlight. Right, so it still looks light, but it has some good shadows in it. And we'll do the same with our bunny. This just feels like it's gonna drip. Just blotting that off on my towel. because this is not the stage where I'm going to cope well with a big old drip. Because he's walking to the left, I'm going to put most of his shadows over here on the right. There we go. Trying to keep those lines as small as possible. Coming in with that medium shade. I need enough on there to start blending and pulling that color out without taking up all that white space, because again, the more of our lightest shade that we can squeeze in there, the lighter our whole bunny is going to look. I'm coming in with like one kind of layer just to fill, and then coming back around to kind of blend that out. Okay, I do want to come back in with my darker brown just to do these little dots on the crate. It's so cute. I want our purpley pink for this little nose. I want teal overalls. Like that. Yeah, little peeps. Little babies. Give that a good little bit of layering so we get a nice blend. And I think I want a little touch of yellow on him too. We'll give him some little yellow goldeny buttons. See, I think that's so fun. And a nice little change up for me. Go ours. Oh, those don't go there. Trying to keep my markers better separated by color family over here. But my kiddo also uses my Olos once in a while, so we'll see how that ends up or not. I'm going to come in with a tiny little bit of white gel pen for my little bunny's eye highlights. And I do think that some white highlight in general would be very cute on these. Come on. Right? I think we just like really go for it, because they're supposed to be super cutesy. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see them in the end, but hey, I'll know they're there. And my highlights are just curvy exclamation points. And I had a couple little spots here where my ink kind of spread. So I'm going to come back in with my white gel pen to just kind of clean up around as needed. Oh, I hope you feel better, Karen. I'm sorry you're feeling crappy. Okay, let's grab our, I don't know why I put all those markers back. It just occurred to me that we need to color our stripes to match. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pause for just a second while I try to remember the medium color of everything we just did. 2.2, 5.3. Oh no. 2.2. 2.2. 2.3. Right? Teal, orange, pink, yellow, purpley pink. Okay. Crisis averted. Oh goodness. Okay. Who's got his arms out? You got your arms out? Yes, you do. That's definitely that. You're definitely that guy. And you're that one. Also, I think that it'd be very cute. There's a paint bucket and a paint brush, and I think this bird that we're using that's kind of like squinting would also be a very adorable egg painter if you needed one of those for your little Easter scene. Friendly reminder that Thursday we're going to be playing with the foil of the month products. And then, do you guys know what next week is? Can you guess? Next week is already freaking sneak peek week because Friday was the 2nd and we do releases on the 3rd Friday of the month most of the time. So we already have sneak peeks to look forward to next week. And Donna and I already started plotting about what we're going to use and which night. So I don't know what we're making, but I know what I'm going to use from the new release in general. How cute are they? This is fun. I like this combo. It feels like a less stressful version of those like YouTube videos or Instagram reels where people like randomly pick, you know, a couple colors and they have to use, like, that's all they can use for their makeup or their art or whatever they're doing. It feels like a less stressful version of that, you know, because I picked them myself. I know, right? Sneak peeks really sneaking up on me. All right, let's go ahead and die cut our egg. And while we're at it, we can start die cutting some of our zigzags, squiggle, rick-rack, all of these things. I'm envisioning we have 5 colors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I feel like only doing 5 isn't enough. Like, to spread them out all the way would be too few. And then maybe can we center it and have the same? Do you know what I mean? Like if this, where's my little things? Right there, right? So that's halfway. So have those and then have these 3 in reverse up at the top. I think that's cute. Okay, so we need 1 of you and 2 of you guys. So we'll get 1 pass of everything on this 1 sheet, which is great. Save ourselves some cardstock. BRB. All right, there's our egg. We got 1 squiggle, got a little zigzag, a wider zigzag, and that squiggle. And then just pop these back through. Squish them a little closer so we can save some cardstock, because you know, for some of these cute little critters, like that's enough to make a whole card's worth of colored little babies. I just realized I cut all of them twice. That's fine. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm worried about how I'm going to do the 5 when I only cut 4. Blah, 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 blah. We'll figure it out. It doesn't have to be symmetrical. We can change it up. Oh, Julie, it's going to come together real quick here in a minute, I think. Oh, I hope. We'll see. Give me like a couple minutes. And if you still are like, girl, what are you doing? Then let me know. My idea was just, instead of adding the stripes to the egg die cut, right? Because that would be adorable. 100%. You could take these, add them to the egg, or add these to your paper and then die cut the egg, add them and trim them, whatever you wanted to do, right? You could make this such a cute little like Easter egg pattern. But instead of doing that to the egg, my idea was to do this to my background. And after all that, I'm still gonna need another piece of cardstock, because I already know I'm gonna want a little mat. Okay, good. I'm gonna add all of these first and then we'll trim it down. So I'm gonna take some printer paper and I'm going to use my medium shade for each color family that we did. And color 2 of the dies. Just that one solid medium shade all the way across. Right, like that. Right, yeah, 202.2, okay. All right, come on now. Our yellow, softer squiggle. And the printer paper behind is just so I get less ink on my glass board that I have to clean. Yellow. I think I want a pink. I don't want my pinks together. There we go. And we'll start with our big chunky squiggle. And our other pink. And that's the nice thing about these alcohol markers, is they're very forgiving. With how you like color them. You don't have to worry about them getting all like stripey and weird. So I'm going to repeat the shape, but the color won't be the same. Maybe like that. Separate those pinks a little more. Because those pinks, those specific pink shades aren't looking very different. Like the whole color combination looked different. It's probably that R 5.5 that really pulled it purple. Just like that. Oh, Brendan's giving clues, it looks like, for the challenge. Who could have guessed that he'd be over there giving away extra clues? Why I bothered to put that back. I'm going to use tape runner to try to make this easier on myself. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the yellow and the pink are kind of splitting the difference of the middle. I'm using a dot adhesive runner so that I don't have to worry about extra adhesive on the sides. I'm going to line this up in my glass board situation. So this is going to go just a little under the halfway mark. And this pink is going to go right over the halfway mark. And if these aren't perfectly lined up on either side, it's okay, because we're going to give this a little trim here in a minute. And we're gonna put it on another piece of plain white. We're going to have to trim from the sides if we are bottom and top if we're also trimming from the side. So I'm going to be mindful not to take my little pattern here all the way to the bottom, because then it's going to get chopped. Any quilty or sewy people, I feel like you get me, that this looks so much like the Rick Rack, like little ribbon trim pieces, right? Okay, so we have a plain white. I'm going to bring in the big chomper because for these having different layers, it's going to work a lot nicer. So I'm going to, I don't want to cut this a ton. We're just going to do an 1/8 of an inch on each side. So we'll end up at 4 by 5 1/4. Go. Add some liquid glue to the back of my stripy ribbon panel. Go. I think that little extra pop of white is going to be so cute. Yes, exactly, like little doll's clothes. All right, I don't think I can physically leave this plain. So where is... We're going to take our lightest shade from our bunny. And I'm going to add, almost like they're highlights, I'm going to add a little swoop on the top right and a swoop on the bottom left. And then I'm going to take my warm gray 0 and pull that out. Okay. And then I can come in with our 0 to make sure that that truly blends into that white, like just nothing, just completely loses any harsh edges. But I think even just that little bit is going to help it to not look like we forgot it. Okay, this 110% must be popped up. Which means we're probably going to need some slivers to pop up the bottom of our basket or our bunny. Whatever parts don't cover the egg. It would be very convenient if we could figure out a placement for this, although I didn't think about it until right now, where we could put our like sentiment directly on the card. Right? Our sentiment could totally go right under that basket. And then I don't have to make a banner. That looks pretty good. We're going to commit. Commit to the bit. This whole thing is pretty much going on this egg. Give it a good squish. There we go. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we have our little, let me stamp this sentiment, I suppose. And then we can make sure our bunny and our chick aren't Non-stop. Get that line through my E's. Okay. That was a close one. I had a little bit of ink up here on the door, and that definitely touched my egg. I'm glad I saw that and wiped it before I stamped that down. We almost had a disaster on our hands. See, that's going to be so cute. What do we need? Good, that's good. A little sliver of foam on one side, a little touch of glue where we know it's going to overlap on the other side. Go. And then maybe our little crate will go like under, and the chick can kind of go on top. Maybe not. I do think it needs to go in front. Okay, fine. Okay, fine, crate. I hear you. Same thing, a little piece of foam on the part we know is not going to be on the egg, and a little liquid glue on the part we know is. Does that look good? Looks a little low. That looks better. And most of the chick's gonna be on the egg. Yay! Also, if this was a shaker, chef's kiss would be perfect too. I like the solid egg. I'm just throwing it out there. That I do also think that like a little something up here could be cute. But I really just, my first gut instinct was to use the zigzags on the egg. And so I was like, well, that seems too easy. Let's try putting them behind the egg and see what happens. So, Joyce, I'm glad that you enjoyed the thought process. I'm sorry if it was frustrating for anybody else. You guys just know I like picking these things out with you live and making these decisions live so I can explain why I'm picking whatever I'm picking. And so I hope that it helps when you get into a tricky spot and you're not sure what to pick. But yeah, I really like this one. I think it's super fun. These are colors I never use in combination with each other. So I think that it was fun to play with. I think it obviously screams Easter at the top of its lungs, which is cute. And then, like I said, I will be back on Thursday with the foil of the month. Where's my box? In case you missed it, the foil of the month looks like that. Whoa, that looks crazy in there. It's a purple. It doesn't look purple. Oh, I rolled up in the tube with my lights on it. But it is like a very fun fairy. There you go. That's it's really not translating perfectly on camera. This color in the middle, this silvery purple, is kind of the closest that I'm getting. But it's really fun. And that's what we're going to use on Thursday. So yes, it's a lilac, but on here it just looks rainbow. Which is also very fun. So if you want to see how we end up using that with some of the other foilables and things that were in the subscription kit, come hang out with me on Thursday. Even if you aren't a big foiling person, come hang out with me anyway. It's a fun time. And I am super pumped for sneak peek week. I got to start plotting and scheming over here. So I will see you guys back here Thursday night. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for hanging out with me. Have a good day tomorrow, and I'll see you back here soon. Until next time, happy crafting, guys. Have a good night.